playoffs at the end of the season, need to deliver on that hype, but we expanded this roster just a little bit coming in. Of course, Striker being added, very hype for that squad.
Yeah, when you talk about Striker, I mean, he was a big candidate for MVP of last season, as well as he's just got a huge hero pool, but mostly his Tracer is what he's most known for. Taking a look at his Junkrat right now. But this player coming into this roster, similar to how we were talking about Dante earlier tonight, is that he comes in as a big name, wasn't happy with his previous squad, feeling much more at home right now with the Shock. So you think that if he's on a team he's more comfortable on, he's even going to perform better than he did in the inaugural season. So excited to see how that will all shake down. Not a Tracer meta per se, but we've already seen it a little bit today.
Yeah, we've got a good mix of that Tracer coming out, but whether or not we're going to see it from him today, we'll have to wait and see. His opponent, however, let's go ahead and give him a warm welcome. It's the Dallas Fuel.
Dallas Fuel coming out on stage right now. Big fan favorites here. So many nations represented in this one squad as well. They've got talent from all over the world. Bring Zachary in from Contenders as well. One of their big pickups coming into this season, along with Closer, a former London Spitfire player. And Dallas Fuel, they've upgraded their roster, but they also, similarly to Houston, have that pre-existing synergy. They've played together for a very long time. And taking the coaching role is Coco, stepping away from being a pro player, but having these experiences with this roster together as well. It just feels like upgrades after upgrades for this team since the offseason. You could take a look at our starting 6-year RCK will also appear.
Yep, get to see how he's going to fare on the big stage here alongside the rest of the Dallas Fuel, but they have to go through their opponents today, the San Francisco Shock.
San Francisco Shock, also big fan favorites here, and the San Francisco Shock are coming in here very much hyped up as one of the stronger teams going into the 2019 season because of their scrim results. Everyone is talking this team up, saying that they could be some of the best players in this meta. Sinatra in particular, someone that everyone's talking about his Zarya play right now. We'll see if he can show that tonight, prove it, because scrims are scrims. This is the real deal here. As the regular season has begun, Rascal coming into this roster as well, so you and I are very familiar with. We'll see if we can find that synergy that we did not have on previous rosters, the Dallas and the Spitfire.
Getting that cheer off there before they take their seats. This is going to be the starting 6 for the San Francisco Shock, and you might find yourself in a bit of shock, because actually Striker not going to be starting for them at the beginning here. Architect, Rascal, Smurf, Troy Hoban, Sleepy, and Moth will round out this squad.
Yeah, no Sinatra either, so again, a bit of a shocker here, but we do have Architect and Rascal, two players that are very experienced and will be filling that role. You have to think the Zarya coming through, something that everyone is talking about. Shock's strength is on that Zarya. Let's see if they can bring it in.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the map set presented by Toyota, see where we're headed for this series. Kicking off again on Nepal. Twice now for you and I, then Kings Row will be our hybrid map, followed up by Horizon on Assault, and potentially rounding it all out with Rialto, unless you and I get to go to another map 5 tiebreaker.
You know, it happens to us a lot, so I would not be surprised if we do head that way. But Nepal is going to be a map that I think favors Dallas' style, and we talked about how they're able to adapt to new metas very quickly. We saw this from Houston earlier today on Nepal as well, showing a variety of strategies. But I don't think Dallas is going to be one-dimensional tonight, especially with this upgraded roster that they've built and put together here. As Coco on coach as well will give them that extra upgrade.
Well, they need to push back against the hype that San Francisco's riding in on. Let's see if Dallas can snatch that out from underneath of them as we go ahead and kick off this series on Nepal, starting with Shrine.
Here we go. Feels very real now as we head into this. I was really excited for this matchup as soon as you and I knew we would be covering it. As these two teams kind of at the bottom of the at the bottom of the standings last season, at 9th and 10th, fighting back for a better score. So popular amongst the fans here. Need those results, as he will have to start things off a Widow duel here between Architect and Zachary.
Alrighty. Also going to have those wrecking balls coming out from either side. See which one's going to fare best. Rascal taking some shots. Rockets coming down. Couple tags. No real meaningful damage yet. Trying to get a beat on Unko. Takes him down to a below half HP. Right in over the top. One final rocket will finish him off in the meantime. Architect manages to find a kill onto RCK. 2 kills already for the Shock. A fantastic start, and that should allow them to lock down this point first.
If you look at Zachary's ult charge here, it's sitting at 12, meaning that he didn't do almost any damage at all in that last fight. That means Rascal has free reign from above to get those kills, get that pick onto Unko's. Now swapped over to the Moira. We're going to completely change things up here now. Zachary going onto the Sombra. Still no real way to deal with the Pharah in the sky, however. Dallas Fuel at a compositional disadvantage.
Still just playing in around the point here for the moment. Rascal gonna find effect. Taking him out, getting closer to that barrage. Smurf under some fire. Plays back. Should be able to get topped up here. Feed a lot of ult charge over to these supports.
Dallas Fuel's not over-committing to these fights, though, not really wasting, or rather going in and feeding over that ult charge to Rascal. So he hasn't even gotten his barrage yet, but still they're losing time and they're losing control meter. There's being patient, then there's waiting too long.
Wild driver there. Smurf going to be able to find closer. Knocks him up, but can't speak to a kill. Barrage now online, however. Rascal going to be looking at the setup of play. Architect finds a snipe, taking out Unko. Another solid start. Zachary has to jump back with that translocator to keep himself safe. In over the top. Barrage is going to be coming down straight on top of their heads. Double kill over to Rascal as he gets rid of the tank line. 58% moving up. Dallas Fuel close to flipping that one, but San Francisco maintains control.
It's so unfortunate for Dallas Fuel now, too. Zachary still hasn't been able to build that EMP. Remember, he switched the Sombra late, so that's why this is so behind in terms of ult economy here. They are very, very low on those critical ultimates for engages. Even the coalescence that Unko holds right now isn't going to be that great for the engage here because the sustained support ultimates on San Francisco Shock are both already ready here.
Dive in onto the back. OG able to find Architect. A lot of pressure alleviated from there. Backline, however, going to be feeling a lot safer now that Effect is out of the fight. Self-destruct. Not going to be able to find anything. RCK going to make it back into the mix. Minefield now thrown down in onto the point. There's not really any members of Dallas Fuel on it at the moment, but they'll at least try to zone them out for a little bit longer. Transcendence in. Sleepy. Keeping everybody topped up as we hit overtime. 99% Dallas Fuel need to do something, and they need to do it now.
Yeah, this is really looking good for this position now on the Fuel, but they need to actually commit and get these kills. RCK gets the double here, and I think that's actually going to turn this around.
Almost got the flip there. Treyhoben now going to be hacked out onto the point, popped out. It seems like Dallas Fuel here in the final hour should be able to get this flip. San Francisco Shock just needed a little bit longer in order to take this one away. Zachary going to be finding Architect, trying to find that baby diva. Finally does spot him. He goes down. Dallas Fuel get the flip.
I think San Francisco Shock may have stayed a little bit too long there. It was at 99 for a while, but they gave Zachary nearly another EMP by just simply staying on the point, allowing him to do that free damage. So there's going to be a defensive EMP ready soon as San Francisco Shock switches over to 3-3. The Moira variation that's very powerful on control, super sustainable. It's going to be hard to kill Rascal. It's going to be hard to kill Smurf.
Fire strike in. Unko taking down a half HP. He'll fade back, keeps himself safe. OG playing forward. Primal Rage now going to be popped. Everybody's right next to the ledge.
OG
pops his way back in. Keeps himself safe. Makes sure that he's not sailing over the edge for the rest of San Francisco Shock. A double kill coming through for him. That's going to be the reset call for the rest of the Shock.
That's how you're efficient with ultimates on a defense when you're down so much on control meter. Still sitting only at the 40, but OG makes the big play here in tandem with that EMP from Zachary. And they're still leading in ultimates, double support ultimates. They've got the self-destruct. Rascal in this last push gets knocked off early, only builds 20 of a grab. So San Francisco didn't get a whole lot out of that last attack.
Still going to be pushing up lower right side, make their way over onto the point. Rally's going to be out from Architect, swinging away, looking for a target. So far, hasn't been able to find one. Bombs out from RCK, looking for a pick. Shield comes up. Smurf keeps himself safe. Architect opens, sinks for the kill onto the baby diva, denying that remake from coming through. Coalescence and beaming them down. Dallas Fuel not suffering any further losses yet. Bombs out, nothing to be found. But they're losing control. Now it's 99%. OG starting to take away. They have to get back on. They have to do it right now. Two managed to tag this to elongate the fight. San Francisco Shock still looking good. Back, pulse bomb online, waiting for an opportunity. Trying to get a backline pick you would expect. Shatter here from Smurf.
Big
Gonna drop
shatter.
the hammer, kills Unko right on the hit. Pulse bomb gets nothing effect. Has that one taken away by Treyhoben. It seems like this could be it. Several members gone on the side of the Dallas Fuel. Just 3 remaining as the tanks desperately try to keep the fight rolling. They will go ahead, they will get cleaned up, Effect will go down, and then Shock will kick things off with a round win on Nepal.
We have to go back to the beginning of this first round, I feel, to talk about how the San Francisco Shock were able to keep better ultimates in most fights. It goes back to Zachary on the Widow. Didn't deal with the Pharah, unfortunately, and the Pharah was really what led to that first cap, the first advantages. We're going to take a look here at Architect coming in, preventing this remake. That was actually a huge play there. That started to snowball things away from Dallas Fuel. But if we go all the way back, right, to the beginning of that round, that's what tells the real story of why Dallas Fuel was always on the back foot in terms of ultimates. This time, we're going to start with the safer composition of the two squads. RCK on Sombra, but otherwise, very much a 3-3 looking composition.
And of course, as you can see there, guys, on the bottom of your screen, the All Access Pass extended for that free trial. Still have some opportunities to pick that up. We do apologize for the issues that it has been experiencing, but they've been work done. They'll be taken care of.
Yep, enjoy it.
We got our best people on it.
Exactly. We're going to take a look at Choyobin's approach here. If you look at the minimap, you can see that the Pharah is actually dictating where Dallas Fuel is actually set up. So it's really tough to approach this point right now. As it becomes unlocked, though, if they can entrench themselves inside of it, their composition has the advantage.
Seems like we'll just be some swap outs here from the side of the Shock, so just going to be surrendering this initial cap over to Dallas Fuel.
Very interesting to see that San Francisco Shock is so willing to go for the Ryan versus Winston. They think that's so favorable that they would just walk away and give a free point here and free ult charge over to Dallas Fuel.
Well, an easier start here for the Fuel, for sure. San Francisco Shock jumping down, they find OG, stun him up, barely does get that kill. Seemed like he might have been able to make it out of there with his life, but does get dropped. San Francisco Shock looking for that very fast flip after allowing Dallas Fuel to take it. They will find it 28%, all that they're able to accrue.
And this is where especially when you're running the Moira here, it's got so much more burst healing than like a Zenyatta, for example. Smurf gets in there, he gets entrenched as the Ryan. It's a tough matchup for OG on the Winston. He can't really break through. He's not going to live long enough, so you see hero swaps. He swaps over to the Ryan. Uncle even considers the Moira for a moment, but now San Francisco Shock not only gets the point back, but they get a massive ult lead with that extra damage they did during that last fight. They're always one step ahead compositionally than Dallas Fuel thus far, and that's really going to cost the Fuel. I mean, if you look at Zarya ults, you're 30% ahead for Architect, 50% ahead for Smurf. More than that now.
Bubble coming out, Effect going low. High energy there, helps take down Rascal. Shatter's hit from Smurf, and that's going to be the kill. Spilling forward for San Francisco Shock. 5 very quickly picked up. Now the wipe completed as they maintain control, approaching 50%.
They were able to corral them into that choke as well, so Smurf's Shatter is big. Sleepy's got the Coalescence, and it's just so difficult for Dallas Fuel to fight properly when they're so positionally disadvantaged. You can see Architect is just watching this. We're going to take a look at that Shatter once again. He builds it very quickly, goes straight in, has all the sustain, remember, from Sleepy, and bam, it's a huge Shatter. You can see also Moth was trying to set that up.
And speaking of which, Moth going to be setting up a nice kill onto Unko. Finds the first pick off. They're still pushing forward. And that's going to be a double for him, getting that nice melee hit onto OG. Takes him out. San Francisco Shock in complete control at the moment. Sound barrier about to be online to match that of Closers.
Remember, this is without Striker. This is without Sinatra. It's Architect's Zarya here. And San Francisco Shock look fierce already. For the Fuel, still not even half a grav for Effect. Not even a trance for Unko. It's looking pretty bad here.
Beaming his way in from the high ground. That's going to be Architect taking out Unko. Now, highly unlikely that he's going to be able to rejoin in with the squad because they want to close it out right here, right now. Motions coming out from both Divas. Not going to be able to find any picks off the back of that. Smurf going to get clipped. He's going to be safe. The rest of his squad there to protect him from any follow-up off the back of OG Shatter. In onto the point. The flip was there for Dallas Fuel. San Francisco, however, regaining control. They're going to have it. 95% now, moving up.
There's just no way to retake this. Effect may die, and this map may end with him at 95% of the grav he never got.
Those are going to be going down. That's going to be the stun. They do manage to tag in. RCK slinking his way in. Now, Transcendence out from Unko. Smurf dangerously low, but match Transcendence now in from Sleepy. San Francisco not going to be adhering. Looking for that 2-0 to start off the series. Zachary pushes his way up, but he shortly finds his demise. Following in right behind OG. That will be the closeout. San Francisco Shock kick things off with a bang with a victory on Nepal.
And what a statement they made as well. Absolutely crushing the Fuel. And then the second round, giving up points after seeing that composition.
Fantastically done. 1-0 for the Shock. Let's see if they can continue it when we come back. gentlemen, we are just one map in for this series. At the moment, San Francisco Shock able to pick up a victory on Nepal, but there's plenty more Overwatch still to be played just in this series. Dallas Fuel putting up a bit of a fight here and there, but overall seeming to be a little bit outclassed.
Yeah, it was just crazy that Shock was even able to walk away from the point, switch call positions, take it back, understanding how to use Moira with the Reinhardt, going a little bit old school. Very impressive stuff. Just knowing that they're that confident that they could just walk away and retake means they're thinking this is going to be a 4-0.
That's what they're going to be aiming for, but Dallas Fuel, we already saw one reverse sweep happen there with Toronto picking up their victory at the beginning of the day. Dallas Fuel still with a fighting chance, definitely could bounce back as we get ready to move into that hybrid map. So we'll see how they're going to fare on Kings Row, one of the oldest maps in the game. It's been there forever, and should be extremely well practiced by both of these squads, but maybe they have some kind of secret little formula, some secret composition that they could pull out to surprise the Shock.
I hope so, or I hope they could just go back to form and continue to kind of run what they're known for, right? And this is a map where the Reinhardt Zarya is insanely effective. It was one of the original maps to see compositions like that back in the day. We will have a sub here as AKM.
Oh, coming out. So RCK gonna be stepping back here at least for the next map. AKM gonna be coming through.
AKM, the legend Sinatra.
There's another one.
For
Talked about this before the series even began. Sinatra will be sitting down on stage.
A super in for Smurf as well, so quite a few substitutions here for the Shock.
Yeah.
Perhaps some Control exclusive players coming in there, but I think the thing everyone's hyped about now is how well does Sinatra perform, because there's so much hype around this player right now. There's so much discussion about his Zarya from what people have seen in scrims. There's all these rumors, like how he might be the best Zarya in the league, as some people will go as far as to say that, right? So now he gets to prove it.
Yeah, he can definitely do his best to do that. So pressure gonna be on for him, though. You know, of course, when you come in with all of that hype built around you, that can apply quite a bit of pressure, quite a bit of weight to your performance. You need to kind of break out of those bonds and make sure that you can succeed. So we'll see how he's gonna be faring, but you know, he's familiar to the stage, so should not be too difficult for him to get back into the groove of things.
Certainly not. We're gonna take a look at OG's stats on that last map here. You can see that, you know, he had a fairly, you know, decent game of Winston here. Obviously, the damage block 4K, 2 ultimate kills though, and that was the big story, as he was running mostly Winston versus what we were seeing on the other side in the Reinhardt Moira. So playing quite a bit more of the Winston. Didn't end up winning out the matchup in the end, but you could see this guy's quite a talented player on this role. Yeah,
I mean, I think everybody's pretty familiar with him at this point, so looking to kick things off with some success. Shake off that first map. It's all right. It's been a little while since you've been sitting on that stage. Come back in, refreshed for hybrid, and see is how well you can do against Shock.
I love
especially
how he,
with all these subs coming through.
And I love how he burns blue. He's even got his hair all the way.
He's got the hair ready to go. He is, you know, he's one of the team's biggest fans, and he's just playing for him. So always solid to see that. But just to remind you guys, Kings Row going to be our hybrid map as we progress forward. San Francisco Shock, will they be able to get that 2-0 start, or can we tie things up?
And when you look at the map pool as well, moving into Horizon and Rialto later on, this is a very Reinhardt centralized map pool where it's going to be more effective than Winston overall. We just took a look at OG's Winston stats. We know he's more comfortable on the Winston. He's more known for his Winston play over his Reinhardt. So might be a challenge for him in the coming maps in that matchup there, because even going as far as the last map, it was much more synergy around San Francisco, putting all the heals into the Rhine, controlling those chokes, controlling those tight spaces with the Moira specifically. So I worry for the Fuel going forward for the rest of these maps.
Yeah, well, we know that Horizon, definitely some wiggle room on that one, but Kings Row, as you say, very dominated by the Reinhardt. But let's see what these guys have prepared for us as we jump in for the second map. Dallas Fuel looking to bounce back, tie things up, elongate this series. San Francisco Shock, match point potential here if they can close it out.
We'll see how they want to run this, because we've seen a lot of shenanigans on this map on point A. Usually the attackers, think back to the Gladiators Spitfire series in the playoffs, but looks like it's going to be mostly just the standard here for the Dallas Fuel. So we'll have OG starting Ryan here on defense. He'll match up against Super in that role. Gonna hide up here. Will be scouted out very early. Architects already prepped with the Hanzo to make sure that they don't get duped by this.
So on your screen right there, effect. Massive amount of damage dealt in the first season. Can he do it again? Very aptly titled there. Pushing forward, J-Hope way into the back. Pile driver going to be catching multiple members. Armor pack instantly in on Ungo to try to keep him alive, but Zachary, he's going to be taken down. OG falling shortly thereafter, and this is just going to be a slaughter on point A. They did not see it coming.
They certainly did not, and one fell swoop, Choyobin grapples in, disrupts the setup that Dallas Fuel is trying to run, and that's what Wrecking Ball is. I mean, as his name suggests, he's quite literally good at getting in there and crashing through the opposition. They've got a specific setup there with OG. They're trying to hit San Francisco Shock head on, but they're knocked into the air with the pile driver, and it all falls apart like dominoes.
Yeah, they were not prepared. San Francisco Shock, massive time bank to kick things off. 5.5 minutes as they push through the first choke. Nacho right up in their enemy faces. 100 energy ready to go. They really have to respect that damage output from him as he tries to get closer and closer to that Graviton Surge. Didn't get much charge on the first volley because there wasn't much to see there, but now nearly there. 4% left to go. Will have it online. Just going to throw it immediately. Shatter's going to be coming out from OG, but he dies immediately after using the ult. Moth coming up with another melee kill with this Lucio, and the cart has not been halted yet.
Oh.
In fact, going to be the recipient of this nano boost. Is 100 energy, but he is on his lonesome. Gets taken down. San Francisco Shock. This is just a steamroll through Kings Row.
Pretty egregious use there of the nano as well. I have to think we're going to see a swap from Zachary. The idea was the solo target healing onto OG to make sure he could get that nano and obviously come in with the shatter. Doesn't work out. He dies before the nano's ready, so it's a panic nano there onto effect. But we are going to see Zachary swap over the Brigida. Either way, we're looking at a 6-10 time bank here.
Absolutely huge, but AKM pushes forward, has that EMP ready to go. That'll lead to 2 kills for effect. Pack in on the Moth as well as he just tries to dip out. So, do manage to stabilize, can control this choke on the entrance towards point C. Can they maintain this?
Yeah, all it takes is one EMP to shut down a push like this. Gonna have to keep it consistent though, moving forward here. Now they've got the grab. There's no trance ready for the San Francisco Shock, so they can start to stabilize.
Graviton Surge coming down, locks them all in. Trying to stay alive, trying to stay sustained. Down barrier's gonna be out for Dallas Fuel, really committing to the fight with these multiple ultimates. San Francisco Shock looking like they kind of just want to abandon that one as soon as they saw the grab come through.
Yeah, they knew, the Dallas Fuel knew that there was no trance ready for Sleepy. He's got it now, but unfortunately it's too late to deal with that grab, so that eats another minute of the clock here. Nicely done by Dallas Fuel. It's step by step, they're gonna have to get back into this one.
Super getting tagged up quite a bit, turns over to the side, does manage to block out that shatter, and keeps himself in the mix of things. So, good little takeaway. Push back, cart finally gonna start rolling. It's only been a minute so far. There's 5 more to go if Dallas Fuel wants to hold this off and deny that finish. That are gonna be coming down. Looks like straight into the shield. Not gonna be able to find anything on the back of that one. And Architect so far gonna be the one casualty of the fight as Effect finishes him off. Dallas Fuel back in control again as Super goes down.
Yeah, both Reinhardts here struggling to actually find value with their shatters. OG Shatter, he thought Super's barrier was gonna be lifted when he died, but he lived through it. AKM looking for another EMP here. If he can hit Sleepy, that would be huge. Deny the trance. Effect doesn't have grab yet, unfortunately, though.
Got it, ready to go. Gonna be dropping down. Catches pretty much everybody other than Sleepy, but Super does not stand a chance. Melted through, hot knife through butter, I believe you said earlier in our first series. Well, they can't rid of that enemy Ryan, but they're trying to answer back. They throw in the Graviton Surge from Sinatra. Transcendence, however, from Unco denies away the damage and keeps them alive.
It's a huge momentum shift here because not only do they win the fight and buy about another 30 to 40 seconds worth of time, but they also waste Sleepy's trance. Now, this will be retaken by the San Francisco Shock in this fight, but still, Dallas Fuel burned through a lot of what was a massive time bank just moments ago. 6:10 is where they started, and now we're looking at 3.5 minutes left.
Decent delay coming through. Now, need to stop that cart from advancing even further. Right? To stop them from getting into point C. 3.5 minutes, as you say. They're getting tagged up at range. Needs to keep himself safe. So far, pretty non-committal from Dallas Fuel, but there you go. It's going to be the Graviton Surge thrown in. Sinatra being blocked out by that shield up from Super, but they do manage to get him in the end.
And AKM has just been doing such a great job of hounding Sleepy, harassing him, hacking him, preventing him from getting these trances up. So when you see these big commitments in these fights, like Effect's grab just there, it's tough for the San Francisco Shock to kind of come around that, deal with that, play around it with the trance when Sleepy can't even finish his trance in time because he's constantly harassed by AKM. Meanwhile, AKM is just using that harassment to build more EMPs. He's got another one ready now for this next defense. If he can hit Sleepy, it's absolutely massive.
And it's going to have to be Johnny on the spot with that Transcendence. Moth as well going to have to try to not get caught out.
Doesn't hit Sleepy. Sleepy gets the trance.
4 members, but there's no follow-up really here from the side of the Dallas Fuel. It was a very good catch from AKM, but no way for them to capitalize on top of all of those hacked members of San Francisco. Play their way back around the corner, 2.5 minutes. Now encroaching for San Francisco Shock. 4 ultimates set and ready. When do they want to pull the trigger is the question. Grabs out. That's going to be a shatter coming in right on the back as a grab lands in. Bomb into the front. They're looking for the sun. AKM going to be the only one picked up. Now a shatter in response out from Super. Locks him down. The pin from OG, however, trades it back onto the enemy ride. He's trying to stay alive. He's in over onto the cart. Shield raised. Shield's going to get broken. Toryobin comes up with a kill. Effect still. Very high energy, throws down that Graviton Surge in desperation, but nobody else is there to stop the cart from rolling through, so San Francisco will find completion here on Kings Row.
There were definitely some really good moments for the Fuel, though, with AKM having that Sombra.
Yeah, very nicely done, but that's going to be a finish for Shock. Let's see how Dallas Fuel answers back with their own attack when we come back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. San Francisco Shock able to find the finish there on Kings Row with 2:07 left in the time bank. Dallas Fuel now getting ready to make their own attempt. See how far they can make it and whether or not they can best that time bank.
As we're jumping into the break, I just wanted to highlight AKM really making Sleepy's life very difficult with these harassments, these backline picks. They've burned through 4 minutes of time. It's still a great time bank to finish the map on for San Francisco Shock, but it could have been much worse. But the Dallas Fuel need to absolutely crush this right now in order to match it. They basically need to take this with their first attack.
And you can see second fastest cap in the league history here by San Francisco Shock. Dallas Fuel, let's see what they can manage. Will just be basically that, that 3-3 with the Sombra coming through from AKM, sticking with it, has been performing on it very well so far. So it's not broke, don't fix it. As the old adage goes, push forward very aggressively here from San Francisco Shock. Super does manage to find Unco, hacking on the Toryobin, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be anything to capitalize on for the Dallas Fuel as they do get contained back into the spawn.
Yeah, there's the silver lining here is, oh boy, this is a stagger. The silver lining is that AKM, even though he just died there, about 10% more of ultimate. He's got that. And also, Sinatra's only about 15% ahead in terms of grab. He was not the one doing the majority of the damage in that fight. It was actually Architect with those sleep darts and Super. So there's still a lot of ways for Dallas Fuel to bounce back with this next attack, but this one basically has to be the one, or they're going to be in big trouble.
Yeah, it's a time bank already could be affected this early on into the half. Super falling low, Fire Strike gonna be clipping him. No one else really to follow up and try to get a kill. Shatter gonna be coming down, throws it right into the shield, not gonna find anything on the back of that. OG still trying to get to his Shatter. 37% away from that. Build that very rapidly. It's gonna be the nano onto Sinatra. He's gonna find the first kill as Effect goes down, follows up for a double. OG gonna be eliminated. Just a little bit too late for that Transcendence, trying to get him alive. Make it a triple. Zachary taken down, and Sinatra is on fire.
That was a really nice flank move there. They had it set up. Architect and Sinatra flanked around the other side, got the nano boost there. Were able to maintain high energy and just clean the Dallas Fuel up. Unfortunately, AKM's EMP was used in that fight late, and they used the Transcendence, so now they have very few tools to attack this point with.
Back getting tagged. His fire strikes from Super, and absolutely brutal. Shatter's ready to go, stun into the sleep stun, he gets knocked down, and it's just gonna be a slaughter again here for Fransisco Shock on A, but this time it's as the defending team. 4 kills quickly scooped up by them.
Yeah, this is just starting to feel like we might be heading into a full hold. AKM only building half the EMP. That's really what they need here to try to make the grab from effect work. If he just wants to toss it in right now, there's 2 support ultimates to shut it down, so it's just simply not going to be effective. Hard to say how they're going to make this one work.
Yeah, push through the hotel effect, going to be throwing down that Graviton Surge, sleeping with the Transcendence, keeping everybody alive. Shatters online for both of these Reinhardts. Let's see who's going to flinch. Who can have the impactful ult. Bomb out from Trihobin, throwing that one into the back. OG going to be blocking this one out. Super still holding ult. After going low, Super tries to drop the hammer, but I believe he gets stunned out of it. Can't find any success with that, and that could be the opening here for the Dallas Fuel. OG drops the hammer, gets to so many members. They might have that sound barrier shield, but it seems like it's not going to be enough. They finally clean him up. OG getting a few of these final kills, and Dallas Fuel have found their way to a cap on point A.
The grab coming out from effect may not have netted them kills initially, but it gave them a positional advantage. OG is able to win the duel against Super, even with the nano boost coming out from Architect, who's flexed over the support in this composition. Very well played by Dallas Fuel. They had a little, but they made it a lot. In terms of ultimates there, very successful attack. Time bank not great here, but they can certainly turn this around if they can keep up the momentum.
Yeah, if they can just keep pushing very rapidly. They'll transition them into a good spot, but you can see San Fransisco Shock again playing very far forward, up by the choke. Looking to drain as much time as humanly possible, if not just hold them right here. Hack in on a Sinatra, still doing plenty of damage, 65 energy. OG and Zachary gonna be taken down as they charge forward back over onto A, right in front of the spawn to gatekeep them. Nice right click as well.
Oh, the finishing blow there onto Closer as well. Gonna send him back to the spawning room, or rather back to Hero Select, I suppose. He was already there in the spawn. It will respawn. Lost a little bit of ult charge, passive charge from that as well. He's only at 35% at the moment.
AKM in the meantime, trying to get a back cap coming through. Oh boy, the double kill off the pin from Super.
And it's just a massive,
out. Oh.
It's a massive bio grenade from Architect as well that prevents the healing there. They might have been able to recover had it not been for that. Now he's got another nano, and it just feels like the beginning of the end here. We're back on A. They can't get out of spawn. Grabs out here. There's a trance.
Tech does use his Transcendence. Coming up from downtown Sleepy a little bit late, but just in time. Does keep everybody alive for the moment. Making their way back. Nano Boost still going to be online for Architect.
Didn't even need it in that last fight. His bio grenade was simply enough, plus the trance there from Sleepy. Effect no longer holds that Graviton Surge.
Gonna be the wrap around here from Dallas Fuel, get their way in behind the cart to try to advance it. San Fransisco Shock already dropped down with Super right in front. On his own, can't raise the shields. The EMP comes out from AKM. Super gonna be swinging away like a madman, just desperately trying to build up something, trying to stay alive. It seems like he might just be able to do so. Sound barrier now available for Muff. He's gonna be dropping the beat. Tries to get those shields over, but doesn't find anything, but it's still going to be a one fight for San Fransisco Shock, as the only thing they lose is Trihobin's neck.
Oh man, the stagger here onto effect feels just like the last nail in the coffin here of the Fuel on this attack here. They just have not been able to gain any ground after their capture of A. They've been fighting in chokes. Architect and Super have been absolutely controlling those AoE corridors. AKM has really been the only one who's been able to find anything. He can sneak around. He can actually find these EMPs. He can harass. But if there's no follow-up damage, it doesn't matter.
Sinatra trying to play a bit sneaky, pins it right into the wall, does manage to get a couple members, sleep dart through. Sound barrier will be out from the Dallas Fuel as they try to stay alive. Bionade only catching OG, but it's not enough to get the kill. Pinned up, but Transcendence out from Sleepy keeps him in the mix. Hart now finally starting to advance with just 25 seconds remaining for the Dallas Fuel. They have to go the distance on this one.
Certainly do. They've got control of the cart right now. They've got another EMP. I think AKM will definitely feel comfortable to hold this.
Well,
he doesn't.
Going to be going down. He catches 5 members. Architect, the only one remaining, throws out that nano boost. Bionade does find Zachary. Mouth going to be on the exchange. And Fransisco Shock trying to keep this one rolling. Shatter comes down. Oh, but the shield is raised on the other side. And now OG, he's out of position. He can't get the block on the Shatter. They push forward. AKM and Unko both going to be going down. OG manages to find one kill onto Super, but no one can get to the cart. And there you have it. San Francisco Shock going up 2-0.
No patience there on the EMP. They committed heavy into that fight. They were desperate, but it didn't work out.
Fantastically done. They lead the series. Match point. Dallas Fuel. Can they bounce back?
Can I get a swirly one?
What's up, Dallas? This is what's going down right now at the Esports Stadium in Arlington. You can see the Fuel fans getting fired up for the match against the Shock. Unfortunately for the Fuel, this match has not been going their way, at least when you look at Kings Row. Welcome back to the Blizzard Arena, everybody. I'm Puckett. You know these boys. We got the beautiful Monty and the even more gorgeous Doa.
Wow.
Feller.
I like this. I like this guy.
We're having a great day. I'm spreading the positivity. Let's get into the highlights, though, as we talk about video games here, because this was a matchup I was fired up for. Dallas Fuel coming back in 2019, trying to show off their new form against a newly retooled and restocked San Francisco Shock.
Yeah, I'm just not sure this is going to be the meta for the Dallas Fuel, though, especially as we saw in some of these maps. They lack some internal flexibility, an ability to change a lot of compositions inside the map once they've already locked their roster in. We saw that a little bit with the Houston Outlaws, seeing it a little bit again here with the Dallas Fuel.
I mean, that's the thing, too, is that they're trying. There were so many hero swaps on this first map, but nothing really seemed to click for Dallas Fuel. They had a couple big moments here and there, but like overall, it just seemed like things are very discombobulated. I love using that word, and I think it perfectly describes what was happening to Dallas on Nepal.
Now, in that first map, we saw a lot of Smurfs. Super comes in on the Reinhardt here for Kings Row. Monty, what did you see from the Shock's tanks so far?
I mean, I love the way the Shock's tanks are playing on these maps, especially Sinatra. I mean, I came in today hyping up Sinatra like a madman, and he's getting the nano boost, high charge Zarya, and absolutely crushing the Dallas Fuel. They don't really have any real answers to this, and part of it is because they don't have RCK in, which means they don't have a diva, which means the Shock can then run the Ana. They're getting bionated left and right. The anti-healing is just destroying them.
There's a reason why the word win starts with W. It's like that's what you press when you want to win an Overwatch right now. You just go forward. You saw that aggression, putting the Hammond in for the very start of the attack on Kings Row with A, just charging into Dallas before they really knew it hit him.
If you're not pushing up, you're playing lazy, guys.
Sure enough.
Learn that one at home. Well, those are some of the big moments from the game here. But, Monty, I want you to break down something in depth for us. What do you got today?
Well, I want to take a look at Shrine and the positioning that we have, because if we look here on our screen, Architect and Rascal are going to be playing long-range heroes to actually use the long sightlines on this map to zone out the Dallas Fuel. Now, Dallas Fuel, their DPS, their damage dealers are going to be Sombra and Tracer, and obviously, these are going to have to collapse on somebody. Problem is, with the Shock's composition, there's a lot of mobility except for the Zenyatta. So you're going to see right here, as we start this, a pincer attack with the Sombra coming around the backside, Zachary playing the Sombra, and they're going to be looking for this Zenyatta. We're actually going to see the rest of the team come across. Now, they're going to have a lot of danger going across to where the Zenyatta is, and the Zenyatta, he's up there on the high ground, so very difficult to get up there. And in fact, as we see this pincer attack happens, they're not even going to get to the Zenyatta at all. And Dallas is going to have to take a very fast pivot to try and hack one of their tanks, which ultimately fails because of the tank's mobilities. So as we look at this playing out, they're trying to get the one low mobility hero on this team. They realize it's up top. Oh no, who do we target right now? We have to go into the open ground if you're the Dallas Fuel, because you need to deal with one of these tanks instead. But that's where the Widowmaker is, that's where the Pharah is, and you just end up taking a ton of damage. The flank took so long on that attack, you just lose an inordinate amount of time. And part of that is just coming out of the gates with the wrong composition. But Shock played that very well with their positioning on the Zen.
Who put the Zen up there?
Yeah, reading.
That's where Zen loves to live, man. He likes to be on that high ground.
But they're reading the way that Dallas Fuel are coming out with those damage dealers, and that means that they're able to form a plan where those Sombra and that Tracer are really doing nothing at all.
Shout out to Monty, ladies and gentlemen. That is your insights powered by Intel. Awesome breakdown of what we saw there on Nepal. But Doa, we got 2 more maps still to go here. Tell me the comeback story. We already saw one at the start of the day when another Dallas team, or Texas team, started well, but then got the reverse sweep. How can Dallas Fuel start a reverse sweep of their own?
You want to see the opposite now, I suppose. And I mean, there was a couple bright spots, right? Effect had some really good rounds on Zarya, I thought, early on, and AKM was hitting a lot of people with that EMP. The only problem is that Dallas's follow-up was basically all of them dying. So if they can change that to the other team dying, I think they can maybe win some maps.
So how many points do you think Dallas is going to get? How many more points?
They got 1.
1 in 2 maps so far. I don't make me do this. I don't know.
Guess, Doa.
3.
All right.
I don't know.
It's a power 3. There you
2.
have it. We're out of time here on halftime. Stay
$1.
tuned, guys. We got more Overwatch League coming up after this break. Make some noise and welcome to the stage. Give it up for the boys from Texas. It's the Dallas Fuel.
Going to be a better transcendence, but effect! There we go, buddy, there we go.
Making it to self-destruct with 2.
In the Widow 1v1. Now the shield get, oh, he comes in. He takes down some vulnerable people on this. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the Overwatch League going to be going on a tour in April in Dallas. So if you're from Dallas, go ahead. Make sure you get those tickets so you can watch it live. But man, they're currently halfway through this set. 2-0 lead for San Francisco Shock. Unfortunately for the aforementioned Dallas Fuel, they have not found a win yet.
Yeah, it's just been absolute dominance from the Shock, controlling these chokes with the Ana play from Architect. We had really good usage of ultimates as well. Let's take a look at the subs that we're going to be seeing here going into map 3. We will have RCK back in for AKM. We'll see perhaps a little bit less Sombra moving forward.
Yeah, perhaps. And then on the other side, we're going to have Nevix come in for Triyobin.
Nice. Always excited to see some Nevix play here for the Shock. And that's going to be it for substitutions as we head into Horizon Lunar Colony for our third map.
Yep, so Assault coming out. San Francisco Shock, if they can get the victory here on Horizon, will be able to close out this series, take their first win of the 2019 season. Dallas Fuel, can they do it? We saw Toronto do it earlier on today. Can they engineer a reverse sweep with their backs against the wall? Because they have to.
They certainly do. I feel like a lot of the strength that we saw from the Dallas Fuel in Stage 4 of the 2018 season, the inaugural season, was through what we saw from Mickey, both on the Brigida, but also on the D.Va. As D.Va's falling out a little bit in this meta right now as well, with part of the reason why we saw so much Ana on King's Row, so much success there for Architect. I don't know, I feel Mickey is missing here. I actually just feel like Dallas Fuel is missing that puzzle piece that they had before. RCK is going to have to fill those shoes here, controlling this high ground. We will see the Junkrat Orisa defense here, very common. Architect on the Genji, which is one of the common counters to this, and they're going to go what looks like potentially full dive here.
Yep, just going to be swapping it up. So Sinatra, yeah,
Old school.
going in for the Sombra here, but Architect on the Genji, always something to get quite excited about.
Yeah, this Genji Sombra very, very powerful against the Junkrat if you could hit those deflects correctly as well. Architect eating a lot of damage here, but will eventually find his mark. So you can see he dashes into this spot here where he's safe, and he's going to try to flank around.
We'll see. We saw a lot of people trying to play around the outside, out on the moon, but not going to happen this time from San Francisco Shock, at least not on the first push. Working their way up closer and closer to the point. Over that high ground, but playing very patiently, using their time to make sure they get the right approach. Architect again going to be tagged down below half HP. Needs to stay alive for this push to work.
Moth will be on the Ana this time with Architect on the Genji, and he's getting very close to a Nano. And that's going to really empower Super, and they can engage with that. They don't need to commit all the way to the Nano Blade since Architect's built so little ult charge here. But the big concern is once Zachary has the Riptire, every potential push can be countered by that one ultimate, so they have to be really careful about that.
Nearly have the Nano online. Bionade into the back, denying away a lot of healing there for RCK. Might just get knocked out of the back, and now it's going to be Moth finding the kill on a Zachary. Hop out there. Unco now going to be going down. Architect dashes his way through closer. Hounding down effect. Gets that one body shot. Turns around for the deflection. Finishes him off for the melee hit. And San Francisco Shock have broken open point A.
Very impressive attack here. Architect will get the blade from this as well. They may try to utilize this on the B attack. As Dallas Fuel will be swapping over to the 3-3 Reinhardt Zarya, or rather in this case Winston Zarya, because it is Horizon and controlling that high ground can be very important, especially against the dive style that we're seeing from Shock. EMP into a Dragon Blade is so terrifying to deal with if you don't have a trance. So Unco needs to make sure he is not clipped by that, or they are dead meat on this B defense.
Well, playing very far forward. OG just by himself. Gonna be taken out.
Bit of a strange overextension there. That's going to give a huge opportunity to the Shock to go for the double cap right now.
Not quite sure what was going on there, but either way, Dallas Fuel now need to stabilize. They need to make up for it. Okay. Self-destruct online can buy him a little bit of space, but he's going to be hacked out. Can't use that ultimate yet. In the meantime, Super with the Primal Rage almost had a corner there onto Unco. Does force out that Transcendence. Now it's time for the EMP. Those that didn't find 3 members of the Dragon Blades there for Architect. Goes into the back. One more swipe to get RCK out of that. Mech can't quite do it. Unco will take him down, but it's still going to be a big advantage over to the side of San Francisco Shock.
Denies
RCK
the remake.
Tries to get back in, but Mon takes him down. Follows up for the kill on the Brigida, and the time bank is just huge.
This may be our most one-sided series that we've had in the last 2 days.
Absolutely crushed there. San Francisco Shock making a statement in this first match. Dallas Fuel, can they bounce back? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. San Francisco Shock completing their attack on Horizon. 5:04 on the clock, Wolf.
Yeah, this is a really great time bank. San Francisco Shock were able to force Unko's trance out early to set up for the EMP Blade. Two major Genji plays by Architect. First on A to get the dash resets with the Nano, not a Nano Blade, you know, with the Nano Boost plus Blade together, not that combo, but actually just straight up Genji doing that damage, getting those dash resets. Then later, the EMP Blade. Dallas Fuel, can they make a dent now in San Francisco Shock's defense? They're running the 3-3 Winston variation here, whereas Dallas Fuel is once again going to rely on the Sombra. It'll be Zachary this time, with effect on his signature Tracer. It's been a while. This composition not necessarily strong against a Brigida composition that San Francisco Shock is running, so we may see some swaps once that's scouted out.
Oh, working their way forward here. Oh, Effect just gonna get picked. Sleepy. Nice little takeaway there with that Zenyatta. Trying to get further ahead for that Transcendence. Some pot shots coming up from Sinatra, just trying to farm up any ult charge that he can possibly get.
Effect is going to stick with his Tracer pick. You know, he can look for targets that are away from the Brigida, but if you look at the formation for San Francisco Shock here, there's just not a whole lot that he can harass. There's not a whole lot he can find. In fact, he's being hounded right now by Sleepy.
Yeah, trying to get those hits in. This time he will be able to make his way over towards the point. Still tagged up just a bit.
It's like the least
recall will use it.
Least sneaky Tracer ever. He's the one who's being hunted.
Sleepy staying on top of him. In onto the point though, one tick nearly surrendered over here from the side of the San Francisco Shock. Dallas Fuel peel off of the point for a moment. San Francisco dropping down. They do force Sleepy off that high ground.
It's all awesome to see. Oh, hold that thought.
Okay, OG making up for before, punishing Super for being away from his squad. But still, every time he pokes his head out, orbs flying right at him. Pulse Pump's nearly online, however, and if he can get that into the back line, could be huge to open up this point. Starting to tick up yet again. Nevix here into the front. Pulse Bomb online, ready to go. Recall going to be used. Transcendence now out from Sleepy, keeping everybody up. That makes him a prime target once that ultimate expires. G receiving that nano boost, but not really in a position to try to capitalize and get that extra damage in. EMP going to be coming down against a lot of members of San Francisco Shock. That's going to be a self-destruct kill on the Moth. And the rest of San Francisco start crumbling thereafter with Nevix going down. Point A will be grabbed by Dallas Fuel. Bumped them up to about 6 minutes on the clock.
Great set of ultimates from the Fuel, setting up OG there with the nano boost, threatening the backline, forcing Sleepy to use his Transcendence. So the follow-up EMP would be that much stronger. You know, we lived in a world when Sombra first became meta, where the Zen would always hide and it'd be, does the Zen get hit? You almost never get hit by the EMP as a Zenyatta. Now that Zenyatas are so much better at dealing with this, so it's the onus is on the attacking team to force the Zen to use that Trance, and Dallas Fuel did exactly that.
Dive into the back, OG. Primal range ready to go. For now, just going to be sitting in onto the point. Spots Sleepy up top, jumps up to try to get him. Ground Surge comes through, locking up the majority of the Dallas Fuel squad. Effect going to be the first one to get dropped. Moth pushes forward, gets the kill there on a Zachary, and that will be a halt on this push, as well as a little stagger here onto RCK, it would seem. Just now losing out on that mech.
Let's see how efficient San Francisco Shock can be here, because already they've gotten the better time bank, but can they win the map here? Can they get through this 5 minutes and 5 seconds that remain here for Dallas Fuel? RCK will remech here, but it's going to take some time to get Effect up into Graviton range. It's actually tied with Sinatra at the moment.
RCK does get that mech back. Decent little delay. Couldn't quite finish off that Baby Diva. Architect now leading the charge with that rally, ready to go. Get stunned up over and punished. RCK finding that kill. Now the sound barrier's in from Dallas Fuel. OG rather is going to be swinging away with that Primal Rage up. Now going to be expiring, jumping in, trying to find Sinatra. Bubble comes forward to keep him safe. They start ticking up. The first one going to be gained. 4.5 minutes. Still here for them. Would be a very respectable time if they can close it out on this push. Nevix going to be booped back. Second tick now coming in. Dallas Fuel. Can they make it happen right here, right now? Nevix around the corner, goes low, bomb gonna be landed in, right on top of the ground. Search looking for the pickoffs. Both self-destructs coming in, but neither gonna be finding any kills other than the break on Nevix's mech.
San Francisco
killing himself with a right click. Absolutely huge here for them. That could be enough for San Francisco to turn things around. Now Zachary gone. They're trying desperately to keep that push going, but they get so very close. 87.4% for Dallas Fuel, but they cannot close it out here.
San Francisco took a lot of risks with that hold. They were waiting till the last second to tag on to hope for those respawns to come through. They were not playing for the time bank. They were playing for the win here, and that is what may pay off for them in the end. Not only do they defend and burn through another minute of this time bank, but also they're looking like they might have a win condition here. They're ahead in Zarya ults, they're ahead in support ultimates right now. Massive advantages that Dallas Fuel are going to take a lot of time to catch up in.
Pushing their way forward, everyone basically playing in behind OG with the shield raised. It is taking an absolute beating at the moment, so has to pull back, trying to let that shield recharge. Super just going to be hanging on to that Earth Shatter, waiting for an opportunity. They work their way forward. OG going low. Nemix right up in the front. Gets that Zarya bolt from Sinatra to keep himself safe. And in the suit, grab in, straight on the side of the wall. Umko has a Transcendence ready to go, but Effect, it's not going to be enough for him. He'll just get picked off. Sleepy coming up with the kill. Moth sunned up in the meantime, goes low off screen, but will be able to sustain. Comes back in, rejoining with his squad. They're trying to keep everybody else alive.
Dallas Fuel needs to be careful about these fights where they lose a member, Effect in this case, and they continue to fight to try to get their ultimates. They were behind in ultimates, right? So you feel like sometimes when you're in a situation like this, you've got to keep fighting, you've got to build those ults. But remember, on the opposite side, San Francisco Shock is building even more ultimates, winning that fight where you've stayed too long and you've lost a lot of time.
Pushing their way up here, high ground, looking for the drop down. OG again leading the charge. Effect trying to get this grab online. One more right click you would expect would give it to him. High energy now for him. 2:20 remaining on the clock. Sinatra taking quite a bit of damage. He'll be able to get top back up as he kills OG. Now Zachary going to be gone. The push forward from San Francisco Shock yet again. Charging back out over towards point A, continuously picking up these kills.
Oh, and this is just another reset here against the Fuel. San Francisco Shock see the cracks, they commit to the fight, they need no ultimates, they build the last bit of the Big Six. The Big Six, what Killer and I call 6 ultimates online for a squad. It's very rare. Usually in a very one-sided match do you see this, or with a team who's been waiting for the best moment to fight for a long time. In this case, San Francisco just massively ahead.
Graviton Surge going to be coming through, and oh boy, Effect not going to be finding anything. A whiff, but expected he was trying to throw that beyond the pillar, but instead he clips it. Now it's that responding grab out. Self-destructs out from both of these divas, looking for the pickoffs. Again, no kills to be found yet. Shatter comes down. 3 members going to be locked up. The pin is there. OG's out of the fight. Closer, Zachary. Effect. Need I name more? All of them swept under the rug by San Francisco Shock, who have now knocked this time bank down to around a minute.
70 seconds left on the clock. All 6 ultimates used for San Francisco Shock, but after Effect's complete whiff on his Graviton, Sinatra gets the better one, uses it early. In that one fight, he's built 60% of another one. Unko's way further away from the Transcendence here, so I feel like the best way for San Francisco to close this out is just to get that grab, and that's all they're going to need. They know Unko can't catch up, barring a huge mistake on their side. It's pretty unlikely. It feels like a one map here for San Francisco.
Sinatra getting tagged up, kites his way back, tries to stay alive. Still taking a ton of damage here in the fight. Shatter gonna be coming down from OG, not gonna be able to find anything. Shield was up for Super. Good deflection from him. Now it's gonna be the grab ready to roll. Just trying to spot out that diva, sees him up onto the high ground, pins it into the corner. Sinatra will be taken down. Nevic's gonna be knocked out of the back, but Super and Sleepy both come up with kills in response. Hammer gonna be dropped, doesn't find much. Unko trying to keep the dregs of this team alive with that Transcendence.
Spawn
He
advantage.
will be able to do so, but 14 seconds remain. They're gonna be back in the hallway. They need to get in there.
Spawn advantage for the Shock is just so huge here. Sinatra's already back on the Wrecking Ball, and Dallas Fuel's only going to have one more shot at this. They've got Effect's grab. Sleepy needs to make sure this Trance can counter it. It's all about that.
They tag in to ensure that OT, RCK getting closer, nearly have the bigger bang combo ready to go. They lock him up with that grab. Transcendence is out from Sleepy. OG finds one as Architect goes down. The self-destruct from Nevix, not gonna find anything. He makes it back into the back. The sound barrier, a bit too late as OG takes down Super with a fire strike. Defuse that just a couple seconds before. Dallas Fuel now. Sound barrier out from them, bomb to the back, looking for a pick. Not gonna be able to find anything, but Nevix gets knocked down. Super still waiting to respawn. Sinatra trying to stay alive with this Wrecking Ball. Already has used the adaptive shield. He rolls off for just a moment. And Dallas Fuel will be able to find completion here on Horizon.
The Dallas Fuel fans get one moment of hope here, but we have to remember this is an overtime take versus a 5-minute time bank. So expectations here, even though they get another lease on life here, it is simply that, just a lease. We'll see if they can make this incredible hold happen here. It is going to be a long, long road. And I don't know if there's a happy ending. At least they're able to stay alive for just a few more moments.
5:04, the time that they have to defend a single tick on A.
It is going to be a monumentous hold, almost a record-breaking hold if they are to do it here. San Francisco Shock.
I would say so, yes.
did so well to defend every single grav that Effect tossed out. All those respawns, heading back in, some panic ultimates there from Unko, and now the Shock is just looking at this saying, well, you know, all we have to do is make one push work in 5 minutes, and all we did to get A just previously was slowly build a nano boost, got the nano up, put it onto Architect, and that was all she wrote. We are looking to potentially see a Symmetra attack here with Moth on that. Could definitely build up a lot of damage against shields with this, and also teleport Super into a position where he could do massive damage.
Yep, like we're gonna be trying to get in behind the enemy squad. Oh, gets tagged up quite a bit. Teleporter straight in over onto the point. There they go. Just the one tick is all that they need.
No way.
The charge. RCK makes his way over. They're still taking this one up. Somebody's gonna drop down. They finally managed to do so, but Ochi, he is so very low. They move off the point for just a second, and San Francisco Shock will take it.
An incredible Symmetra strategy. They teased the Orisa comp. They knew they were going to be running the Orisa defense just like they did before. They completely circumvent it, teleport onto the point, prevent everyone from tagging in. What a play!
Absolutely gorgeous. They take the series. Dallas Fuel, can they at least get a win on Escort? We'll find out when we come back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. San Francisco Shock able to take this series with a 3-0. Dallas Fuel have one more chance to spare their blushes as we get ready to move forward onto Escort. But man, what a round. What a way to finish the round there on Horizon. The Symmetra play jumping straight in onto the point. They didn't even see it.
I mean, that is probably the single coolest play we've seen in these last 2 days. Just finding that opening, knowing that the Orisa composition has to be so entrenched up on the high ground, far away from the point. And even though Dallas was able to scout it, they thought, okay, they're probably going to teleport on top of us, try to kill the Orisa that way. They weren't thinking about the point itself until it was too late. It was too late. Very, very cool stuff. Really nice strategy there coming out. Moth executes it perfectly.
Very big brain on that, man. It would seem very wonderfully done.
I think that's a play that's going to stick in everyone's minds for a while.
It just gave them the win here. First match of the season, are able to take that one away. But we do have some more substitutions, guys. As you can see, AKM going to be back over onto the stage, subbing in for Effect this time.
That's right. So swapping a DPS for a DPS here. And imagine he'll be playing Sombra again, as Choyobin will come in for Nevix. So Nevix is playing the one round there on the D.Va. And then Choyobin will be sticking in here. So let's see if AKM can turn their luck around right now, because Dallas Fuel look poised for a 0-4. You have to think, unfortunately, with how this match has been going, Shock just has their number in every single regard.
I mean, and they're also getting ready to go on to one of the most polarizing maps in Rialto, where it kind of seems like it's either all the way to the finish or can't even make it to A. We'll have to see how these guys are going to fare. San Francisco Shock, however, completely on fire. have been doing such a wonderful job here today and really delivering on the hype that has been surrounding them. Sinatra, especially with his Zarya, has really been living up to all the rumors from those scrims and whatnot.
I feel like OG is feeling the pressure. He's had a lot of jump-ins where he's gotten caught alone or has been looking for the back line, but the team is not communicating perhaps with exactly what their intent is with these certain plays. As we head into Rialto, it's a very important map for main tank because whether you're on the Winston trying to control the high ground from A to B, or even if you're on the Reinhardt for some of the later parts of the map, your synergy with your tank is, I think, of these 4 maps, it's most important on all these chokes on Rialto.
Well, gonna have to play very concisely if they want to stop the San Francisco hype train, because it's leaving the station very shortly here. Rialto, one final attempt for Dallas Fuel to pick up a map win so they do not start off their season with that 0-4 loss.
I feel like we've seen a big showcasing of the hype around San Francisco Shock in this series, I mean, no one can really be certain what Dallas Fuel's power level is just yet. It's far too early to draw conclusions about that just based off of these first 3 maps. But I think you could be sold on the synergy for San Francisco Shock. You could be sold on these different comps they're running. Architect's Ana, suddenly impressive, right? A pretty rare pick for this guy. Sinatra Zarya does not disappoint, lives up to the hype. And I think San Francisco Shock, after this series, is going to be a team people are continuing to look at with less and less questions as we go on.
Yeah, absolutely. Have to agree with you, but getting ready to kick things off here. Dallas Fuel getting set up on that defense. Seems like it will just be the standard 3-3 play from them. Shock, however, they've shown us a couple different things, so maybe some of what we're seeing right now formulating on our screen does stick through.
I mean, we have seen compositions like this, where you have the Roadhog coming out early with the Widow flanking somewhere else, so you're drawing attention away from the main comp with the Widowmaker, and then the Roadhog is kind of slowly pushing forward to sustain damage. Well, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. We're just going to see the Reinhardt mirror like we were talking about. Super so far has been dominating the tank matchup, especially in terms of Rein.
It's a 3-3 map, more so than King's Row at this point, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely.
So pushing up, got to be careful on this initial bridge, make sure that Closer isn't going to try to scoop in, get those nice boops off the bridge. Not be able to find him, some stuns coming in. OG going to be the first one to fall. Now Zachary under fire, will be taken down. The rest of the Dallas Fuel trying to kite back into the courtyard and stay alive. But Unko dangerously low. Seems like he will be able to make it out with his life intact for the moment.
When you dominate this hard in this first section before the archway that everyone is positioned in for San Francisco Shock, you get such a free push around the corner. Now San Francisco can control the bridge. You only have 1 member pushing the cart right now, but that's okay because it's basically a free push. You don't need that speed. It's actually better to control the choke, get some more ult charge. Sinatra jumps up to 64%.
Yep, super ready. As soon as they come out that little gate. It's a couple swings in, building up, getting closer to that Earth Shatter, 30% away at the moment. Sinatra as well, grab nearly online, gonna pin it straight into that wall. They need to stop him. Actually, no, just right at his feet, catches them here. Off guard, Closer, Zachary, OG, all gonna be fallen. And San Francisco Shock looks to just progress further and further with this dominant run.
Architect survives there as well, finishing off the last percentage he needed for his rally. And this is just domination from the Shock. Sinatra had high energy, right-clicked on this bridge to get the last part of that grab, tosses it in before Unko can respond. And this is practically a walkover for the Shock right now. They are just taking this map. It belongs to them. There is almost no opposition. AKM's 10% away from his Graviton, but San Francisco Shock has both support ultimates to answer for it and positional advantage here on the bridge. So difficult to utilize that right now if you're AKM. He's gonna go for it though.
Ball coming down, maybe they're gonna poop off there. Oh, landed in onto the boat, it would seem. OG nearly taking a dip as well. Cart is gonna keep inching forward here. Grabs online now, AKM throwing it into the back. Troy Hillman will get caught up in that one, can't deny it away, but 20 grab is out, and Unko has to use the Transcendence to try to keep his team alive. Sleepy now going to be matching. They have the longer standing Transcendence, so Sound Barrier has to be used from Closer to try to counter push here against San Francisco Shock.
They got to be careful of this Shatter as well once that bubble wears off.
Bomb out from Troy Hillman, actually going to be finding Zachary. One more tool gone. That could have denied away a shatter, but it seems like they just don't need it. Super is going to be holding on to that ultimate as kill after kill keeps coming through in favor of San Francisco.
It's a little bit concerning, to be honest, that Dallas Fuel used both support ultimates versus just the one from San Francisco Shock. It still couldn't sustain through San Francisco's damage. So we're going to take a look at Architect here, having another big highlight. Realize he's looking for the bash here onto OG.
Done right out of that ult.
Very well done. Shuts that down. That was their one real chance. And 2 support ultimates isn't enough. San Francisco.
Not shatters out, catches 2. Locking them down here into the back. Super, however, overextending a bit, it would seem, does get taken down on the back of that shield bash. 2 kills over to the side of Dallas Fuel. That is going to be enough for them to stabilize and halt the cart.
5 minutes on the clock. B is taken, and it's the first time Dallas could say they have control of the map. They do get to hold this Graviton further. But look at Sleepy.
They have to play back.
He's hiding here. They have the Trance ready. They want to use their ultimates to contest C rather than actually go into this choke where San Francisco has the better position.
Yeah, just trying to get as much free distance as they possibly can. Spamming in the back, Sleepy right now. Not under any pressure. Grab's going to be out, locks up OG right here on the corner. Spawning Grab is out. It's going to be the Transcendence. Bombs into the back. Shield flip over to the side. Super able to block that one out. Down barrier in from the side of San Francisco. Closer, trying to build his up. They managed to find one opening kill as Architect will be eliminated. Seems like it's a pretty decent start here for Dallas to maintain control in this choke.
They had their first victory in a fight. They were able to take control of the map. Now they're able to take control.
1 HP! AKM!
Now they're able to take control of this archway, and now the high ground for AKM, where you can do with 100 energy so much damage. And finally, Dallas is showing signs of life here. Circumvented though by the speed boost from San Francisco Shock.
Wrap around the back, but Super dangerously low, pushing forward there. OG, he's hungry for that kill, and Super's just gonna go for a dip here. Does get taken down. OG gonna be missing out with that charge, but will be the abandon on this attack.
All right, San Francisco Shock had a great start. They had those ult leads, but now the high ground is controlled by AKM and his high energy Zarya. So they have to take the gondola path on the outside, the water side, where they're always under threat of Closer knocking them off with right clicks. Also, got to be careful of RCK as well.
For an opportunity, throws it down, locks him up. For the kill, Sleepy again with the Transcendence, has that one ready to go. RCK denying away Sinatra's grab, and they pick up the kill right on the back of it. Fantastically done by him. Troy Hopen taken out of the mech and instantly melted down.
Those aren't gondolas, by the way. They're boats, but you know what I mean.
I mean, a gondola is a type of boat.
Sure. Also, you know, we'll just.
But a speedboat is not a type of gondola. I know what you're going for.
Yes.
It's all right. We'll forgive it.
It's like not all squares are rhombuses. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, poop off the top. OG playing it into the front here. Nice shield bash to interrupt that pin. Super gonna be the first one taken down. Closer coming up with a melee kill of all things. Self-destruct from Trejo, but not gonna be able to find anything in San Francisco. Actually starting to lose their momentum.
Yeah,
really have had a lot of time drained away when you really look at the clock.
It's so difficult for their comp to deal with AKM up on this high ground. That's why Choyabin looks for the knockoff, and now they got it.
Oh, AKM dangerously low. Will get top back up. That armor coming through from Zachary's rally.
Huge play
really
by
making the
Choyabin.
difference.
Huge play to knock AKM down. Now they can move forward. Now they can contest this.
Well, the grab's going to be ready to go in a moment. Shatter's going to be coming in. Sound barrier out from the side of Dallas Fuel. This is their battleground. They want to keep fighting it right here. Closer, however, going to get picked now. OG gone. RCK with the bomb. It's not going to be enough to turn things around. Only finds one pick there onto Moth. The rest of his team dying around him as he makes it back into the mech. He'll just be jumping off. It was that reset. 150 remaining on the clock.
It was scary there for a little while for the San Francisco Shock. They kept just running their heads into the wall there. AKM on the high ground, high energy, maintains it. They had an ult lead, but all it takes is one smart play by Choyabin. AKM gets knocked off, and they're able to barrel their way through. Now there's no high ground anymore, and Dallas Fuel are going to have to fight toe-to-toe around this corner. No ultimates to speak of in terms of AoE.
Yeah, no, Unko taken down, Super pushing forward, manages to come up with that kill. 100 energy here for Sinatra, getting closer to that next grab. Could be the final one of this half of the map. And they have them contained all the way back into the spawn. Super so very far forward, trying to get that next Shatter online, and he's gonna have it. There you have it. Comes online. OG coming through, Shatter drops in, catches the tanks. Unko a bit too late to try to keep them alive with that Transcendence now. Grab is gonna be out, locks them in. Choyhopen, bomb, perfectly timed, catches both of those supports as soon as the Transcendence expires. And San Francisco Shock, they get completion here on Rialto.
Very clean play across the board. Took them a little while to identify the problem there. you know, around the non-gondola boats there, where the high ground was controlled by AKM. But
Keep clarifying that.
yeah, I just don't want to offend any gondolas out there. But once they got AKM on the low ground, once they were able to go around the choke, when they're fighting toe-to-toe, when they're fighting on even footing, it once again was no contest. It was super easy. They were winning fights without ult advantages, where the defender's advantage was even in Dallas Fuel's court. So it almost felt like they needed that handicap to defend there when AKM and Dallas played around that high ground really smartly once they regained control. But San Francisco now on the defense. Dallas Fuel's got one shot of this. The time bank is not great, but as you mentioned, as we went into this map, we don't always even see A taken on this map. We see a lot of full holds. So this really feels like it could go either way, but if you're a betting man, I don't think you're betting on the Fuel here.
And Shock. I think swapping up a little bit. Looks like he might be going for that Wrecking Ball instead of the Brigida.
Yeah. So this is going to be a disruption setup here for Architect.
He's still zipping around. He's going back to the spawn room, Mitzi.
Oh, okay.
15 seconds remaining. No, he's got to hightail it over to the start of the push here.
Yeah. He's going to have to shield bash his way all the way over. Well, I thought it was going to perhaps be disruption here on this bridge where you see the pile driver, but just going to be standard 3-3. Zachary on the Ana here means there's a lot of potential for heal denies. That's kind of their X factor on the Dallas Fuel's composition.
Drop down coming through. Architect up here on the high ground on the top left side. We'll just be bashing across. We join in with the rest of his squad, make sure that he is going to be safe. AKM taking these lob shots here with the right clicks, trying to build up.
Zachary swapping back to the Brigida, by the way, not sticking with Ana long term, knowing it's going to be very difficult as the attacking team to find an angle to hit big bio grenades against a mirror composition.
Here onto the high ground for Dallas Fuel. Have control of this spot, but now they need to figure out how they're going to get down, try to win a fight. Wrapper on the backhand side, OG right in the front. Fuel's up for the moment. San Francisco Shock going to be collapsing indoors, try to keep themselves safe. AKM, 100 energy, but he's going to get stunned up, going so dangerously low, and this time he will not be able to make it out alive. 3 kills over the side of San Francisco. They maintain control of the card.
A lot of that was just ring around the rosy by San Francisco Shock. They just ran into the inside of that building. A lot of cooldowns were wasted on the Fuel side as they approached, the shield bash, etc., the rocket boost coming out from RCK. The San Francisco Shock just had the ability advantage even there with that defender's advantage. Now they've got high ground control here with Choyo Ben. Look at how much damage he could do at range here, even with just left clicks.
Hold on, gets the boot bump there. OG taking a dip in the canal.
Very aggressive play, pays off big time. That's going to be a lot of wasted time here in the bank for Dallas Fuel. And they're going to have to reset once again. They don't
doing those laps.
Yeah, and they don't have, you know, the security. This isn't going to necessarily happen again. They have to even think about this further now and get into your head a little bit when you don't know where Lucio is.
Still playing up top. Getting closer to that sound barrier. San Francisco ult economy right now looking pretty darn good. Dallas Fuel going to be inside again. Do they go for the high ground? No, it's going to be a push around the backhand side this time. Working low, Sleepy, getting locked up, going low, but cannot get that kill. Doesn't even use the Transcendence as a panic button, manages to go ahead and keep his cool.
OG has got this shatter, needs to angle it correctly.
Grab locks him up, Sleepy using the Transcendence. Keeps him in the fight. Grab onto the cart from Sinatra. Locking up the members of Dallas Fuel. Good flip up to the top there with the shield. Keeps them safe. But the shatter in response from Super is absolutely massive. They have the sound barrier to really ensure victory here. They pick up the kill onto OG. And now it's just a matter of time before the stragglers go down.
2 support ultimates are better than 1 as well. There's so much sustainability in this fight for the Shock that allows Super to get into position as he just did. 70% of another shatter is ready here. Now the one thing that Fuel's got going for them is, at least because 2 support ultimates were used for the Shock, they've got Closer's barrier here. That may be how they could force positional advantages here, but there's no shatter, there's no grab. They don't have a lot in their wheelhouse here to steal this away from the San Francisco Shock.
Stealing away, certainly one of the best ways you could possibly put it, given how the series has gone. Shatter comes out, catches 2 in the back. Zachary getting knocked down. Super, however, very low. Shield's going to be up, trying to block out on that self-destruct. Will be able to do so, but Sleepy's going to get picked in the back line, and he was the closest one, the closest support to having that ult online. And now it seems like Dallas Fuel will be able to push back at long last, with just 40 seconds remaining on the clock. They finally get this cart moving as they win a fight.
It looks like they should be able to get into this archway before the Shock can actually get set up to defend it. It's very difficult to get in here and actually contest this right now with the positional advantage Dallas Fuel has. Sinatra maybe has other ideas, though. He's trying to flank around. He is seen.
He's way in the back. Graviton Surge nearly online. Can they stop this one? Sleepy going to be going down again. Moth getting locked up. Super sliver of HP. Fire Strike will take him down, and Dallas Fuel will be able to push through into A.
You can see the idea here is to sandwich with Sinatra's grab and try to go for the contest with Choyobin boosting in to tag the point, but unfortunately, it was sniffed out early, and they just stayed on top of it. Does actually cost San Francisco Shock quite a bit because Dallas Fuel now has a big ultimate lead.
Yep.
Still a very weak time bank, but you know, as we just saw with the Shock, things can snowball back out of control for the attacking team very quickly if you keep making mistakes like this, you know, committing in. Again, idea is good. The execution, though, on the defense for the Dallas Fuel was too good for it.
Need to keep on rolling to have a decent time at the finish here. Super going to be dropping down straight in on top of them. AKM trying to build up that energy. Drops in the Graviton Surge, pinning them into the corner. Hubin, however, going to be using that bomb, and it's going to be a triple kill! RCK, OG, and AKM all saying goodbye and good night. He puts them in the grave.
Very efficient usage there of the of the self-destruct. Obviously, support ultimates coming through to make sure that they could live through AKM's grab, but the setup there was really nicely done. And now the bridge is controlled by the San Francisco Shock. Getting across this is not going to be easy. They can't take a gondola, so gonna have to walk. Gonna need to see that speed boost from closer, get them into position to get a single pick. If they can't do it, I think this map may be over because you just can't walk up against a bridge like this. You're forced into a choke.
They're getting tagged up the rally to lead. Zachary, however, in the front.
Look at how much
damage.
They took a ton of damage coming across.
Yep, trying to sustain back up, moving back here through the archway now. Graviton Surge from Sinatra is pinning OG straight in onto the cart, it would seem. Not going to be fun. And the kill is Shatter coming out. Locks up a couple members here from the side of San Francisco Shock, but it's still they who will be finding the kills in this fight. Dallas Fuel, everyone's going to be jumping into the river here.
Now, realistically, they're only going to have one more shot at this.
Yep.
And they're coming up against double support ultimates to counter their own as soon as Moth gets the last 25%. And San Francisco Shock continues to control the bridge. Looks like some more Sinatra shenanigans here. He's trying to hide at the back.
Is it? Oh, okay. You guys are coming this way. Oh!
He lives!
Barely lands back on.
What a risky play there.
That could have been catastrophic, but he does manage to survive.
Yep, buy some time too.
Support ultimates online now. AKM getting closer to that next grab. RCK nearly set for the combo. Unko picked off in the back. Sinatra comes up with the kill. They get rid of one of the support ultimates. That could be it. 10 seconds remaining. Tries to go in. Sinatra going to be denied away the Graviton Surge. RCK at least takes that one out. Sound barriers in. Somebody needs to tag in onto the card. OG trying to push his way forward. He's going to be taken down. Bomb up over the top. Looking for a pickoff. Not going to find anything. Closer. Skirting around the card. Trying to keep this one contested, but Super swings away. Comes up with a kill. Knocks that Lucio right out of the park, and OT will start ticking down. San Francisco Shock, a very dominant start to their season here. 4-0 over the Dallas Fuel.
San Francisco Shock, clean victory here. Absolutely living up to the hype. No doubt about it. Crushing the Fuel with a 4-0. And the synergy was good. You know, we saw Sinatra live up to